Warning, the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. Yeah.
Hey!
Hey!
What's going on?
What's up, Jake?
Oh! Mr. Jake. Mr.
What's up,
Jake.
Calvin?
What's going on, Calvin?
I just had to say meow again.
Meow. Hey, Stephen P. Kitty Cat.
Alright, guys. What's up, Jillian?
Jillian Thrillian.
Alright, guys. So, we are going to be talking about Bruce Mcarthur tonight.
I keep wanting to say Brian McAllister every time I brought this up. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
And it was like, Kevin McAllister. Oh, we're going to be talking about Home Alone tonight. Yes, we are.
Oh, boy.
It's one of the best movies ever.
Guys, he hasn't even started drinking yet.
No.
This is just his normal.
I'm sober. I think.
I think.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Sorta.
I'm definitely being a beer snob tonight. Look at this. Look at this. Blackberry
Dippa.
double IPA.
Dippa. Blackberry Dippa.
It's a double IPA. I think it's like, what is it?
What's up, Sykes?
7.5% alcohol. That's what it is.
Guys, like, follow, share out, all that fun stuff. And here we go.
Here we go. We're getting into this. We're going to do this. We're
All
going to talk
right,
about this.
so we're talking about Bruce Mcarthur. He was born Thomas Donald Bruce Mcarthur. I don't understand the whole two middle name thing, but a lot of people have it.
He's Canadian.
It happens in my family, too.
Canadians.
Not on the Canadian side.
They're Canuckians.
Not on the Canadian side. What's up, Holly?
Hello, Holly.
Hello. How are you?
So, oh, we forgot to say, this is kind of like the Pride Month thing we're doing right now.
Sort of.
Sort of, because he was a...
Dance it out, Frank. He's all... So, we're not going to get to that yet. Okay?
What?
What you were about to say.
What was I about to say?
I know what you're about to say. Anyway, he was born October 8th, 1951 in Lindsay, Ontario, and was raised on a farm in Argyll,
Man, those farm
near
kids.
Woodville, in the Kawartha Lakes region.
Summon Jake with toxic gayness. Let me tell you about Jake.
So, it's...
Straight as an arrow.
Hey, I'm Canadian. Awesome.
Yay!
My grandfather is Canadian. That's why he likes teas.
I don't tease.
Yes, you do.
Canadians have awesome bacon, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, fine. The reason why it is the Pride Special is this gentleman is gay.
Gay.
Yep.
Gay, yay!
You live only like a half hour away from there? Wow. What's it like?
Argyle? Is it anything like Letterkenny? Because if it's like Letterkenny, I want to go.
Is it bad that I'm just picturing people wearing a bunch of Argyle like all over town?
I don't think Letterkenny
they're all golfers.
You know, most Canadians are just normal people, but Letterkenny made them even more awesome. Like, seriously, I fucking love that show. Absolutely
Yes.
love Letterkenny.
Awesome!
Yay!
I didn't even get the chance to become the first gay serial killer.
Jake, we know what you're more of a
Anyway.
serial.
He also says he loves Letterkenny too.
I love Letterkenny.
Yes! Sykes!
Yeah, oh, Sykes, yeah.
This is true. Please tell your mother we say hi, and we're all thinking of her. We are.
Sorry, Holly just said it. It is like Letterkenny. This is awesome. Okay, we're going.
Apparently...
We're gone right now.
Jake is a coccicidal maniac.
Yeah, we know that. I've known you since high school.
But I was trying to be serious here.
I've known Jake since high school. All right.
Okay, I was
Let's
giving
do this.
the hearts to Sykes. So, in addition to raising MacArthur and his sisters, his parents fostered troubled children from Ontario, often with 6 to 10 in their care at any given time, and had a good reputation in the area for, or according to a family friend. Now, you know what it's like growing up with fosters and everything.
Fosters? Is that what you call them?
Fosters.
Oh my god, I gotta go.
Since when?
I'm just kidding.
They're called fosters.
My family took in a lot of foster kids back in the 80s and everything. It makes for a very manic house.
Yes.
So,
well,
and a lot of these kids do need to be taken in because a lot of these kids come from. I mean, the reason why they're in the foster care system is because a lot of broken families and everything along those lines. So, I have no problem with it.
Oh, I was trying to click on this.
Oh.
I mean, we're down. Same, Sykes. Same. All right. So, young MacArthur attended a one-room schoolhouse outside of Woodville. A classmate recalled him trying to be the teacher's pet and informing of mischief by the other boys with whom he did not fit in. He was also known for winning singing contests. His mother was Irish Catholic. His father was Scottish Presbyterian. So Protestant.
Yes, and his father was highly
Well, both of them were very devout.
Yeah, but it'll play in here in a second.
Causing arguments.
Kelly, yes, Holly is a new viewer from Tuesday.
Yes, she is.
And I'm happy Holly is back. This is awesome.
Yeah, actually, welcome back. I was so stoked to see you in here. Again, can I be the first swinger serial killer?
No, actually, that I think that probably
Toy
that
box?
title actually no, Rodney Alcala.
Yeah.
That has to be Rodney Alcala because that's who's a dating game killer. He would be the swinging serial killer.
Yeah. So, basically, his mom and dad would actually fight because one was Catholic, one was Protestant, and that they don't mix.
It doesn't mix, and also it wasn't just
that area.
No, but with them, it wasn't just like fights. It was like knockdown, drag-out fights over religion.
Yeah, and he would end up siding with his mother.
Yes.
Regularly. So this led to like him defending his mom.
What? I'm sorry, I'm sharing things out.
Him defending his mom led to his dad treating him like shit. And he also felt that maybe his dad knew he was gay at a young age, and that could have been why he thought that he was being treated like that by his dad.
It wasn't just that his father did. His father was abusive to him because he was very feminine.
Yes.
At a young age, like super abusive to him.
Well, he also had trouble accepting his own orientation because it was seen as pretty abnormal in rural Ontario at the time.
Yes.
Seeing you through Hoggy, I was like, this girl is gorgeous and loves creepy stuff. I'm coming back. You're awesome.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not wearing makeup today. It's too damn hot out here.
Yes. It's like 100 and something right now, I think.
Currently, it's 93. But it's still hot as hell. At 7 p.m. and 93, come on. Alright, guys, so let's get into his married life. MacArthur began working for Eaton's department store as a buyer's assistant somewhere around 1973 in a downtown Ontario building later demolished for construction of the Eaton Centre. A few blocks north of where he was working, a few blocks north of where MacArthur was working, a gay village was forming on Yonge Street between College and Wellesley Streets. Same-sex adult sexual behavior had been decriminalized in 1969. MacArthur left Eaton's in 1978 and began working as a traveling salesman for McGregor Socks, soliciting department stores to carry his merchandise. He later worked as a merchandising representative for Stanfield's, which is a garment company. In the mid-1970s, MacArthur's father was diagnosed with a brain tumor and was sent to a nursing home. MacArthur became disappointed when his mother took interest in another man and grew much closer to his father at this time. His mother died of cancer in 1978 and his father died in 1981. Hold on. Yes, he would be seen as a bitch, as sad as it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You still have glitter.
Glitter.
Kelly's still covered in glitter. It's 87. That's better than here. Apparently, in a couple days, it's going to be 108 in Huntington Beach.
Really?
Yeah. With a, 60% humidity.
I'm glad we're not there right now. We were there last week. That's where we were off
It's a boys' town in Toronto.
I want to say that's like most Canadian cities. There's a lot of
It's the hockey.
It's a hockey thing, right?
It's the reason I play hockey. Do you remember that commercial? He'd smile and his teeth were all missing. Oh man.
67 there.
Why am I imagining the scene from Super Troopers with the bear costume?
Bear. Sorry, try not to cuss as much right now.
You've already dropped 5 F-bombs.
I haven't actually.
You have.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
I swear to God, I haven't.
You totally did. And I'm jealous that it's 67, by the way. All right. So. Okay, where did it go?
Married life.
There it is. In 1979, MacArthur and his wife moved into a house on Ormond Drive in Oshawa. By 1981, they had a daughter, Melanie, and a son, Todd. In 1986, the MacArthurs bought a home on Cartreff Avenue in Oshawa. He became very active in his church, keeping himself busy to avoid his homosexual feelings.
Yep. What also at this time, nothing really started happening with him until way after all this.
So Holly says that Wellesley in Toronto is the biggest gay spot known as Boys Town to locals.
Oh.
Interesting. I like these tidbits of information. This is awesome. So, MacArthur began having sexual affairs with men in the early 90s. More than 1 year later, he came out of the closet to his wife, but they continued living together. Sometime after 93, MacArthur's employment in the clothing trade came to an end, and the couple faced financial difficulties. In part due to legal issues connected to their then teenage son, Todd, who was obsessively making obscene phone calls to women he did not know. What? He was just prank calling people and they're like, he's getting sued? Well, what is he saying is what I want to know.
Wait, they said he got, wow, didn't know that part.
They had financial issues because of their then teenage son obsessively making obscene calls to women he didn't know. So, obsessive prank caller.
The Jerky Boys.
Basically.
He got obsessed with that.
Well, this is in 90...
Yeah, that's when it came out. Jerky Boys came out in 89.
Yeah.
But at this time, the reason why also...
Crank Yankers.
Crank Yankers, yeah, it could be. The reason why they stayed together, too, was what they were saying, is that it was for the kids and everything like that. He was openly gay with his wife, and he was off doing his own thing, but they would come back and at least raise their kids. This is the odd part about this serial killer here. That he was a family man, and...
He wanted to be.
We're getting to the point where he snapped later on. Mind you, this has been going on. He's been married since 1978. You know, he hasn't snapped or done anything wrong. No joke, has not done anything wrong, not murdered anybody. And then, what we're getting up to right now is when he finally just does it.
So, Syke said that, why am I imagining the scene from Super Troopers with the bear costume? He's all, at least it's not the sex scene from Team America World Police. Ew.
Team America, that's a good one.
Alright, so... Yeah, exactly. That was a Friday night back in the day. Prank calls.
Yeah.
Back when nobody could trace you. Very few people had call waiting.
Now you have to have a burner number.
Right?
You got to download an app and everything like that. It's more complicated.
I mean, does Star 86 even work anymore?
I don't think any of that works anymore. I don't think it matters.
Where you can block the number and shit?
You can block a number with a burner number. You just create a brand new number.
Well, yeah, but
So,
like...
You just keep blocking numbers.
No, I'm talking about star 86. You do it before you dial somebody and it blocks your number.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy. How you doing?
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I know. I doubt it works, too. I'm kind of bummed about that.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So, the couple mortgaged their home in 97 and declared bankruptcy in 99. MacArthur separated from his wife in 97 and moved to Toronto. There was no gay community in Oshawa at the time. He frequented the bars of Church and Wellesley, which is the gay village, or known as, we just found out, Boys Town.
Jimmy said, he says, it does still work.
It is 67.
Yeah,
Oh,
star
okay.
67.
What was 86?
I don't know.
86
I know.
something.
I remember 10-10-220 was the old collect call thing, like where you're not paying too much money.
Yeah.
But no, that was way before your time.
No. I still used it.
Melissa Milano was in the commercials.
Alyssa?
Alyssa Milano, whatever her name is. I don't know.
Nice! Cell phone in one hand, beer in the other.
Yay! Haha!
Hells yeah.
So, let's get on with this.
All right. So, let's see. So, he moved to basically Boys Town and moved into an apartment on Don Mills Road while pursuing a 4-year relationship with another man. When they broke up and his divorce was being finalized, MacArthur saw a psychiatrist and was prescribed Prozac for several months. About this time, he was attempting to gain work as a landscaper. It does work. That's awesome.
Yep.
We even do them on payphone. Yeah, exactly.
Can you find a payphone nowadays? I know there's one here in our town, our city, and that's it. It's like at a rest stop somewhere on the way out of Kern County.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
86 is what you say in a restaurant or a bar. Or a bar. Somebody's all 86'd. Maybe that's why I was thinking that. So, Halloween assault. I thought he was like the Santa killer.
no, there is okay. So he was a mall Santa at one time.
Oh, that's why?
But there is a connection here. Every time he got stressed out was on the holidays. For the vast majority of the times, the killings and everything happened was on the holidays.
Well, so just after noon on October 31st, 2001, a few weeks after his 50th birthday, MacArthur followed actor and model Mark Henderson into his apartment building after being invited to Henderson's apartment to see his Halloween costume. MacArthur struck Henderson several times from behind with an iron pipe that he often carried. Who just fucking carries a... Dang it.
Gotta understand that in you have a place where there's somewhat gun controls like that. They're gonna, if they want to feel safe, they're gonna carry things like pipes and knives.
I guess. Henderson fought back before losing consciousness. He called 911 when he woke and was taken to St. Michael's Hospital. He had suffered injuries to his head and body and needed several stitches on the back of his head and his fingers, as well as 6 weeks physiotherapy. MacArthur, who turned himself in after the attack, said he did not remember the incident or why he might have done it. He pled guilty to charges of assault with a weapon and assault causing bodily harm, and on April 11th, 2003, received a conditional sentence of 729 days, which is 2 years minus 1 day. A further charge of carrying a concealed weapon was withdrawn at the time. The Crown Attorney had earlier believed jail time was warranted, but agreed to a conditional sentence after psychiatric and pre-sentencing reports suggested that MacArthur was a low risk to reoffend.
At this time, he had not physically assaulted anybody.
Yes, he did. He just did.
No, I'm saying prior to this time, he had not physically assaulted anybody. So
Yeah.
he never did anything like that.
So, the victim said by the Crown to have been traumatized by the incident did not provide a victim impact statement for the sentencing. And there were concerns that MacArthur's unexplained behavior may have been due to the combination of his anti-seizure medication, which had amyl nitrite, a muscle relaxant, which sometimes is taken recreationally before sex.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to some of the comments again. Bummer, there aren't any more around. I don't know.
Don't know.
Did try to start. God, I brought that up without reading it first.
Jesus. We tried to get out of the cussing game and they keep pulling us back in. You're funny, Sykes.
Wrong choice of field to be going into.
Yeah.
There's no payphones. That's the word I'm looking for in Philly anymore
Payphones.
either. I bet it's. This is how Silent Night, Holy Night was inspired. God damn it.
Okay.
I am. Never mind. So, let's see here. MacArthur, who turned himself in after the attack, said he did not remember the incident or why he would have done it. So, that's interesting to me. Was he telling the truth?
I'm pretty sure he did black out on us. There's no rhyme or reason. It's probably thoughts and feelings that he's had built up inside of himself for a long, long time.
Maybe.
And then all of a sudden it just came out. And he didn't exactly realize what he did, but I'm pretty sure after the fact the memories started coming back and he started enjoying it.
Maybe. So MacArthur avoided prison time, spending the first year of his sentence in house arrest, followed by a 6-month curfew and 3 years of probation. During the sentence, he was barred from church and Wellesley, except for work and medical appointments. Had to stay at least 10 meters from the victim's home or workplace, and could not spend time with male prostitutes. Didn't know that was an issue, but okay. So MacArthur was forbidden to possess firearms. Let's see. MacArthur was forbidden to possess firearms for 10 years. He was not to purchase, possess, or consume drugs without a medical prescription, and specifically not to possess poppers.
What is poppers?
Pills.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know anything about pills. I just have beers. Not to be rude, but what was a big thing with gay guys?
Yes.
What
The
is it?
no, that's not rude at all. That's commentary. So she's talking about the medication that
Well, back in the 80s,
was a muscle relaxant.
pills and stuff like that were actually pretty big among any community. A lot of the
Clubbing communities.
clubbing communities and stuff like that.
And one of the things with the gay community is that there's a huge party scene.
It's a huge party scene, and at the same time, you also have a lot of people who are refusing, especially in the 80s and 70s, who don't want to come out of the closet, so they had to do something to make themselves feel normal and stuff like that to loosen up.
Yeah, poppers.
Not saying it's right or anything like that, but that's what happened.
That's right, poppers. I forgot I even said poppers. But no, that's not rude at all.
No, it's not rude.
So we lost my spot now.
Oh no.
Give me a second. He also had to submit his DNA to a database and was compelled to undertake psychological and psychiatric counseling, including anger management. A criminal defense lawyer found the list of conditions uncommon and suggested that the judge was concerned that MacArthur was a danger to all male prostitutes.
Well, duh.
A retired homicide detective noted that parole conditions were unenforced, were not published or made public knowledge, and that parole violators were caught only if they come to the attention of the police. In 2014, MacArthur was granted a record suspension on the conviction, which was subsequently expunged from his record.
Yeah.
And would not have appeared in criminal background checks during subsequent investigations. Most records and exhibits were destroyed in 2010 in compliance with Toronto Police Service retention policy. The only surviving documents were the transcripts of the guilty plea and sentencing hearing, the psychiatric report, and pre-sentencing report ordered during the trial, the pictures of the victim's injuries, and the weapon. That seems like a whole lot.
Yeah.
The only thing...
They basically made it so it never happened in 2014.
No. The only surviving documents were all of those things I just listed.
Yeah.
That's a lot of things still surviving.
That was in 2014. This is actually before you.
This is 2010.
In 2014.
In 2010. Right here.
Oh. Well, either way, 2014, 2010, he was not caught yet in any way, shape, or form.
All the junkies stole them. No.
We need to get...
Anyway. So, further on. In 2002, while the assault case was still before the courts, Mcarthur registered with Recon, a gay fetish dating website for men that are into BDSM, where his profile noted his interest in submissive men. He was active on numerous gay dating websites, including Silver Daddies, Man Jam, and Grindr, Bear 411, Bear Forest, Scruff, Daddy Hunt, Squirt, and Growler. Why do they have to be so fucking funny? I'm sorry.
You know, I'm holding it together here. You're the one who's, and I'm normally the one who's going,
Come on!
I know!
Man Jam? Silver Daddies?
These are actual websites, apparently.
Bear Forest? Squirt?
Everybody's a squirter if you stab them in the right place.
True. True. Xanax is the forget-me-not pill.
Yeah.
So, Mcarthur joined Facebook in 2011 and cataloged his nightlife with pictures, parties, vacations, birthdays, dinners, concerts. Younger men of the South Asian persuasion and Middle Eastern persuasions they were in several pictures. By this time, Mcarthur had become part of the gay community and was a regular at its bars. Since 2007 or 2008, he was living in the 19th floor apartment at Leaside Towers in Thorncliffe Park.
So he didn't just come out of the closet. He came out of the closet with a lead pipe.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
They had and still have a phone line in Toronto called the Manhole. I'm sorry, every time I see Grindr...
Grindr is still around. That's actually something I've heard a lot.
Every time I see Grindr, I still think of Family Guy. Where he's like, no, it's not that gay dating app. It's for guys who are really into sandwiches. He's sticking a sandwich through the glory hole. He's all, yeah, is that meatballs?
Didn't we talk about this with, like, Hagatha?
I think so.
Was it in the back chat, or was it...
I don't know anymore. I don't know.
Isn't Grindr like an actual sandwich? Like seriously, weren't we talking about that?
You don't have to be lonely at spankyourbuddysmonkey.com. So...
we gotta play a commercial, actually.
We do have to play a commercial, and then I am going to start off here.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're going to play a commercial. Frank ran to the restroom. Sorry, guys. Squirt and Growler if your grandma has plastic on her furniture. Because grandma was a squirter and grandpa knew what he was doing. Now you know. Yeah, basically. So, Mcarthur's 2003 banishment from church in Wellesley remained well known that he had developed a reputation for BDSM and rough sex. In 2011, he told an acquaintance named Robert James about an incident in which he had been asked to leave a coffee house, which caused Mcarthur to knock all of the glass off the counter in a rage, James decided to heed advice to stay away from him, explaining that he had heard disturbing stories about him. According to James, McArthur turned red and screamed about, well, words we can't really name on here. 2 F words in a row. One of them is derogatory towards a certain sexual orientation. Telling stories about me is what it said. And you're just like the rest of them. You think I'm crazy. A.J. Kahn, a Toronto restaurant owner, remembered McArthur as a friendly regular. Towards the end of 2013, Kahn inquired when McArthur came in alone instead of with his usual companion. McArthur said his boyfriend was on vacation, and when Kahn noted he had seen the man the previous day, McArthur angrily left and never returned. Oh, we're talking about Bruce Mcarthur. He is the Jimmy Scott. Oh. He is the Mall Santa killer. So, McArthur had become a self-employed landscaper at this point, operating under the name Artistic Designs. A colleague who installed water features and 3 of McArthur's projects. Okay, 3 of his projects described him as more of a gardener, operating out of a little van with old tools. He said that McArthur was always accompanied with an older white man who appeared to be romantically involved with him, a day laborer, usually of Southeast Asian or Middle Eastern descent. Most of McArthur's clients were wealthy elderly women who found him charming, and he had built a clientele based through personal recommendations. During the off-season, McArthur portrayed Santa Claus at the Agincourt Mall and made floral arrangements for charities. Yeah. So, McArthur's separation from his wife was initially heated, though they later reconciled. His son Todd was reported to have difficulty accepting his father as gay. In 2014, Todd was sentenced to 14 months in jail for making, you guessed it, multiple obscene phone calls.
Wow.
This guy's like my age.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? He was released on bail, ordered to stay with his father at his Toronto apartment and assist with McArthur's landscaping business. A former friend of Todd's visited one night and discovered the wall of McArthur's bathroom was decorated in photos of naked men and with erections. He said that most of the men appeared to be East Indian, and that Todd said that they were men whom his father knew. McArthur did not hide the fact, laughing over it at breakfast.
Well, I mean, honestly, everyone's an adult right there. You walked into your dad's bathroom, who you know is gay, and these are all men of, who are mature and all this other stuff, so it's kind of your own fault, bro.
So now we are getting into the missing persons investigations. Mm-hmm. So starting with Project Houston. In November 2012, the TPS launched a task force dubbed Project Houston into the September 6, 2010 disappearance of I'm not trying to butcher this, guys. Skandaraj.
Skandaraj.
Oh, Skandaraj.
Skandaraji.
They called it, no, not just Skandaraj. That's a J. They called him Skanda. Navaratnam. Totally butchered that, and I'm sorry. Believing that he had been murdered, but had no leads. According to a 2018 W5 investigation, a man posted on a cannibal website, Zambian Meat, in 2012, that he had killed and eaten a man in Toronto, which had led to the formation of Project Houston. Police briefly investigated the possible link between Skanda's murder and the convicted killer Luca Magnotta, although this lead was eventually abandoned for lack of evidence. By June 2013, Project Houston had identified 2 other missing persons cases linked by geography and lifestyle. Abdul Basir, known as Basir, Faizi, and Majid Hamid Kehan. Like Navaratnam, both men were middle-aged immigrants from South Asia who disappeared from Church and Wellesley between 2010 and 2012. An anonymous tip. Oh, I'm sure they are.
Brent, these subtitles are hilarious.
Right? I'm
Uh,
sure they are. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. I gotta look real fast.
Wait. Maple syrup. God, Sykes is hilarious tonight. Haha.
Oh, well, bye, Jimmy, I guess. You
Yep.
said you're gonna jam?
He's gonna jam with his guitar or something.
Oh, well, awesome.
Well, go jam with your guitar, bro. Have
Heck
fun.
yeah. So, an anonymous tip linking MacArthur to Skanda and Hamid led police to interview him. On November 11th, 2013, police had been told that he knew both men and regularly interacted with Skandam at the gay bar, but denied being in a relationship with him. MacArthur had also admitted to employing Hamid, with whom he had broken off a sexual relationship. Project Houston concluded no evidence to link the disappearances, that a crime had been committed, or to identify a suspect. According to a 2016 case summary, there was still nothing to explain what happened to those men. So, missing rainbow community. I should have saved this picture.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was my fault. When I made the notes and everything like that, I forgot to actually say the pictures and everything like that. I do this every single time.
Sorry, y'all.
Sorry, soy.
What is going on?
I don't know. Oh, you tapped on the scrolly ball thingy.
I was all, I didn't do it.
No,
Oh, that was bad.
no, that's Otis.
That would have been funny, though.
You guys want to see Otis kissing a mask?
No. All right, so these are 11 missing men within the gay community. So, on June 26, 2017, one day after attending Pride Toronto, Andrew Kinsman disappeared from Cabbagetown and was last seen in the area of his residence on Winchester Street on the evening of June 28th. Learning that no one had seen Kinsman for a couple of days, Ted Healy and other friends gained access to his apartment. They found no signs of disturbance, though his 17-year-old cat was out of food and water.
Aww.
That's
more heartbreaking.
Yeah. They reported Kinsman's disappearance to the police the following day. Kinsman, who was openly gay and had deep roots in the community, was regarded as a stable and responsible man whose friends felt would not have suddenly left.
He was also a huge activist.
Yes.
In the LGBTQ community.
LGBT?
LGBT, I don't know.
Yeah.
I always mess it up, I'm sorry.
So, it was also... Oh, he wouldn't suddenly leave. He wouldn't leave without his cat, and he wouldn't leave without his prescription either.
Exactly.
So, it was also noted to be unlike him to go anywhere without his cell phone and anywhere without notifying any of his friends and family.
He was also at the time having a on again, off again. Like him and MacArthur were having a relationship. Just like they were friends with benefits at the time.
Yes.
And for a couple years, they were friends with benefits.
Well, at the end of July 2017, the TPS created a new task force called Project Prism. Get it? Prism, rainbow?
Yes.
To investigate the disappearance of Kinsman and other men. Selim Essen is the other man, apparently. And to look for any other links with the unsolved disappearances investigated under Project Houston. Greg Downer, a friend and colleague of Kinsman, who set up a Facebook group dedicated to finding him and other missing men, organized an August 1st community safety meeting in which police gave an overview to the task force and thanked the community for the abundance of information that they received. Queer refugees, transgender, and two-spirit people spoke of their vulnerabilities, experiencing a disproportionate amount of violence within the LGBT community. Downer's group, the Missing Rainbow Community, provided strategies for staying safe when meeting people from dating apps, realizing the difficulty police faced with judicial authorization for data from servers located outside of Canada, which caused a delay in the crucial early days of the missing persons investigations. Downer appealed to dating apps to provide an option for users to consent to have their data released to police if they went missing.
Well, the issue too with Canadian police when it comes to like the same thing with another serial killer we're going to get into later on is Willie Picton. He was going after sex workers and stuff like that. He was going after and it was mostly First Nation women who were sex workers. And the Canadian police have a bad habit of, if you're not looked on highly in society, they kind of just push you aside.
I don't know if it's so much like that anymore, but definitely at that time.
At this time, well, even into the 2000s, they didn't go after this. They didn't really go after this again until what was his name again? Kinsman was killed or went up missing. That's when they really delved back into it. Before, it was just, well, okay, a couple people have come up missing. We're just gonna
okay. So it is true. It is still true.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was still the case right now.
No, the First Nation, especially with the First Nation, man, Canadian police, man, they are pretty not caring about that stuff.
Apparently, the website's no longer up.
Even today, if you escort website, so they do fuck all. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no protections for it, and honestly, that's a lot of countries are like that, with the exception, I think, of Austria. Yeah. Austria and Denmark are where they have unionized sex workers, where they can actually have protections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to sex workers, they just throw them to the wayside.
Well, so safety hotlines were also set up for those that were reluctant to speak to the police. Mm-hmm. Because as we covered on Tuesday, it's still... The reason why the gay community doesn't particularly look fondly on a lot of police officers is because of stuff like Stonewall.
I'm not following you, Jimmy.
We're getting the messages way too late. It's because there's a delay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
So...
Anyway, back to this.
Fears of a serial killer stalking church in Wellesley grew on November 29th when the body of Tess Ritchie was found by her mother in an alleyway 4 days after she was reported missing. The following day, police announced that the body of Alora Wells, a homeless transgender woman, had been identified, her body having been discovered in a Rosedale ravine in August. Because of fears in the community, TPS Chief Mark Saunders held an unprecedented December 8th news conference on the 3 separate investigations into the deaths of Ritchie, Wells, and the disappearances of Kinsman and Eisen. Although the cases occurred in close proximity, police did not believe they were related to Saunders, said they had no evidence that there was a serial killer. And Saunders said that there was no evidence. Gosh, I can't read tonight. So, Project Prism. Project Prism was overseen by Detective Sergeant Michael Richmond.
Megan says to say hi. She's watching, but she's not. Megan Hackelman?
Oh, hey!
Hey, Megan!
What's up, Megan?
There she is!
There you go!
About time! Hi, bitches!
So, Project Prism was overseen by Detective Sergeant Michael Richmond and led by Detective Sergeant Hank Idsinga, who had served on the homicide squad for over 13 years and had been assigned to Project Houston for 6 months. The task force also included an officer from the Sex Crimes Unit and 6 officers from Police 51st Division, 3 of whom had been members of Project Houston. The investigation was difficult because of the lifestyle of the subjects, who used dating apps and frequently met people that they had never met before.
Did Houston have a problem?
Yes. Yes, it did.
Houston had a problem.
Kinsman's disappearance was central to the creation of Project Prism because of the lead obtained at the end of July. Idsinga later said that a crucial piece of evidence was recovered because Kinsman's disappearance had been reported within 72 hours, after which evidence could have been lost. According to an agreed statement of facts read in court, police found Bruce on Kinsman's calendar for June 26th, the same day that Kinsman was last seen. That day, surveillance video outside Kinsman's residence shows a person matching his appearance, Bruce's, approach in a red vehicle. The vehicle did not show a license plate or a clear picture of the driver, but Chrome sighting identified that it was a Dodge Caravan 2004. There were more than 6,000 similar models in Toronto, but only 5 were registered to somebody named Bruce. Of those, the only 2004 model belonged to Mcarthur. By late August or September 2017, they matched the van from surveillance video to Mcarthur's apartment. From surveillance video of Mcarthur's apartment, but was no longer at his residence. Redacted warrants and police documents, partially released by a judge in mid-2018, revealed that in August and September, police investigators had obtained production orders compelling the release of data from Google, Rogers Wireless, Bell Canada, TELUS, Royal Bank of Canada, and Manulife Bank of Canada. Around September, tracking warrants had been obtained for vehicles and phones. In October, further orders were granted for information from Yahoo, Air Canada, and additional banks, as well as Pink Triangle Press, an LGBT publisher. Mcarthur was named in a September 8th request to place a judicial seal on the warrants, and later requests to seal warrants issued from September to November noted the investigation into Bruce Mcarthur. An October request noted circumstantial evidence that suggested Mcarthur's involvement in the disappearance of 5 men, including Kinsman. October 3rd, plainclothes police officers arrived at Dom's Auto Parts in Courtice, Ontario, which is 70 kilometers northeast of Toronto. They were canvassing businesses for Mcarthur's 2004 Dodge Caravan, which owner Dominic Vetter confirmed he had purchased on September 16th. The police found it intact and had towed it away, also copying surveillance video of Mcarthur visiting the shop. Vetter said that officers later told him that they had found trace amounts of blood in the vehicle. The blood was identified as Kinsman's. Here you go. Court documents show that in November, cadaver dogs were brought to Mallory Crescent residence in the Leaside neighborhood of Toronto, which is where Mcarthur lived. Mcarthur had an arrangement to tend to the owner's yard in exchange for storage place. Sorry, Leaside is where he lived. That Mallory Crescent residence is not where he lived. Excuse me. So, he stored a lot of his landscaping equipment over there. The dogs did not indicate any human remains. A camera was installed to monitor the garage. Police also obtained a log of Mcarthur's key fob for his apartment. With this and a tracking warrant for his cell phone, they built a timeline of the day that Kinsman went missing. DNA evidence from MacArthur's van matching Kinsman and Eason allowed investigators to obtain a general warrant for MacArthur's apartment on December 4th. Police then covertly entered MacArthur's residence and cloned his computer's hard drive. That's pretty bold.
Yeah.
On December 5th, after consultation with the community, Project Prism issued a warning about dating apps, urging users to exercise caution when meeting someone.
When they got him, it wasn't just, when they got his laptop, he did delete everything on there. They managed to clone the hard drive. That's how they found everything. You have to understand, too, Canada doesn't have the same, excuse me, I'm burping. Canada doesn't have the same
No, I know.
stuff we have, like when it comes to like search and seizure and stuff like that.
No,
like,
I know.
No, we're just gonna take this. Look at it.
So Holly said one day that we should do a show on the horrors of native residential schools here in Canada.
That could be good.
I would love to. It's going to take some extra research, honestly, but I would actually love to. Yeah, they're pretty much scared. You're right. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So, on December 8th, or in a December 8th news conference, Project Prism investigators said that they had completed 62 witness interviews, 28 judicial authorizations, and assigned 308 actions, of which 225 had been completed. Police had also conducted searches utilizing resources from the mounted and canine units. On one occasion, a drone was also used. They said that they had no evidence to link the disappearances, though. The investigation picked up in January of 2018 when Idsinga noted that they had many 15-hour days and a 72-hour stretch of intensive investigation in mid-January. On January 17th, 2 pieces of evidence came to light connecting MacArthur to the disappearances of Eason and Kinsman. A partial download from MacArthur's computer, which was going through forensic analysis of deleted files, yielded post-mortem photos of the victims that day. Ooh. Round-the-clock surveillance was put on MacArthur, with instructions that MacArthur should be immediately arrested if observed alone with anyone. So his arrest. Still funny. You know what? This is funny as hell. I'm sorry. Apparently it is the mall Santa, and we are fake friends for talking about him. He is now crying. I'm not going to talk crap because it's a kid. So, police officers surveilling MacArthur decided to apprehend him shortly after they saw a young man enter his Thorncliffe Park apartment on January 18th, 2018.
You'll get to this. This is actually pretty fucked up. They saved this kid's life.
Oh, yeah.
They did. Just go ahead. Oh. Sorry, I said the F word. I apologize.
Megan, whoever you are, lol.
I didn't mean to say that.
Anyway, they believed that the man's life was at risk. A source told CTV News that the police officers found the young man restrained on a bed when they entered MacArthur's apartment. The man was shaken but not injured.
Oh.
He was referred to in the court as John because he was, I'm pretty sure, a John.
The notes here actually don't do it justice. He wasn't just shaken. They say he wasn't injured. He was injured a lot.
He was beaten.
He was beaten. He was getting ready. He was
about to be killed.
He was in the act of basically rape.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing when they caught him.
Well, so the man who was referred to as John had arrived in Canada from the Middle East 5 years prior, was married, and had not told his family that he was gay. He had met MacArthur through a dating app, Growler, and said that they had met for sex several times. He had agreed to keep his relationship with McArthur secret and let himself be handcuffed to McArthur's steel bed frame. McArthur put a black bag over his head and tried to tape his mouth shut before police officers interrupted him. So I don't think this is actually the one.
No, this is it.
According to CP24, it's 24, the officers had a search warrant for the apartment, obtained after gaining blood evidence from McArthur's van. Police seized electronic devices from the apartment, including 5 cell phones, 5 computers, 3 digital cameras, and about a dozen USB flash drives. Evidence found in McArthur's apartment shortly after the arrest prompted investigators to charge McArthur with 2 counts of first-degree murder and the presumed deaths of Andrew Kinsman and Selim Essen. Their bodies had not been found, but police said that they had a pretty good idea how they died. Idsinger was satisfied that there was enough evidence for murder convictions, even without the bodies. A source told CTV News that photographs of the alleged victims found in McArthur's residence led to the charges. The Toronto Sun reported that McArthur's computer had grisly photos of his suspected victims kept as trophy.
Victims, what he did, he also liked to pose his victims. He liked to shave their heads, put cigars in their mouths. It was like the weirdest shit ever. He liked to pose his victims, and they were all in his computer. Now, mind you, he actually like turned around and like tried to delete everything off his hard drive, but the police cloned his hard drive and everything like that, and that's how they were able to get the stuff off of there.
So, you know what? I think we are going to do a part 2 because we are out of time. So we're gonna get into.
We'll get into homicide investigation, the actual trial, and then there's some stuff with his preferred victims, you know. So.
Right, they do like to pose. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot here, but tomorrow night we'll do part 2.
Yeah. All right, so guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Please make sure to tune in tomorrow night. It's usually the metal show, but it's just going to be a Roots Bleed Red continuation tomorrow. Next,
revamping a lot of stuff with the metal show.
Yeah, the metal show is going to be revamped. We are going to be introducing some new characters on that show. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I hope we both hope you have a wonderful night.